I lost 15 pounds in just 2 weeks, but that is not even the crazy part. The real shock came when my energy came back, my cravings faded away, and my body finally started working with me instead of against me. There were no extreme workouts, no starving, and no complicated diet plans. I did something most people completely ignore. I fixed my liver and everything changed. For a long time, weight loss felt like a constant battle. Calories were counted, meals were skipped, and still the results barely showed. The truth is, the body has a system that controls how fat is stored and burned, and that system starts with the liver. When the liver slows down, fat loss slows down. When it becomes overloaded, the body holds on to weight no matter how hard someone tries. This is where things get interesting because very few people talk about this connection, yet it can completely change the outcome. In this video, you will learn the exact steps that helped reset the body in a short time. You will discover why the liver plays a major role in fat burning, how everyday foods quietly damage it, and how a few simple changes can trigger fast and natural weight loss. Some of these ideas go against what most people hear every day, and that is exactly why they work so well. There is also a surprising reason why cravings disappear once the liver starts functioning properly, and why energy levels rise without relying on caffeine or sugar. The process is simple, but the impact is powerful. Each step builds on the next, creating a chain reaction inside the body. At first, the changes feel small, then suddenly the results become impossible to ignore. That is the turning point most people never reach because they focus on the wrong things from the beginning. By the end of this video, everything will make sense and you will see how small shifts can lead to massive results in a very short time. Stay with me until the end because one key detail can make the difference between temporary weight loss and a complete transformation. Missing that one piece can slow everything down again, even after a strong start. This is where most people fail, and this is exactly what you need to avoid. Welcome to our channel, where we break down simple health ideas that actually work. If you want more clear, powerful tips like this, make sure to subscribe and join us on this journey to better health. Most people think weight loss is all about calories. Eat less, move more, and the scale should go down. That idea sounds simple, and it is repeated everywhere, yet for many people, the results never match the effort. The body feels stuck, progress slows down, and frustration builds. There is a deeper reason behind this, something that often stays hidden while all the focus goes to food portions and workouts. The real issue can sit inside the body, quietly affecting everything without giving clear signs at first. The liver plays a much bigger role in weight loss than most people realize. It is responsible for processing fat, clearing out toxins, and helping control metabolism. When it is working well, the body can burn fat more efficiently. When it slows down, everything begins to shift in the wrong direction. Fat burning becomes harder, energy levels drop, and cravings start to increase. This creates a cycle where the body keeps asking for more food while burning less of it, which leads to gradual weight gain over time. A slow liver can block fat burning in a way that feels confusing, effort stays the same, or even increases, but the results move in the opposite direction. This is why some people can follow strict diets and still struggle to lose weight. It is not always about discipline or willpower. The system itself is under pressure. Everyday habits like high sugar intake, processed foods, and constant eating give the liver no time to recover. Over time, it becomes overloaded and its ability to manage fat starts to weaken. As this happens, the body begins to send signals. Fatigue becomes more common even after enough rest. Cravings feel stronger, especially for sugar and quick energy foods. The body looks for fast solutions, while the root cause continues to build in the background. This is where many people feel stuck, trying harder but moving further away from real progress. There is a different way to approach this, one that focuses on fixing the system instead of forcing results. Small changes can take pressure off the liver and allow it to function properly again. Once that shift begins, the body responds in a way that feels almost effortless. Here is exactly what I did. The hidden problem starts in a place most people rarely think about. The liver works quietly in the background. yet it controls some of the most important processes in the body. It plays a major role in fat metabolism, which means it decides how fat is processed, stored, and burned. At the same time, it filters out toxins that enter through food, drinks, and the environment. It also helps balance hormones that influence hunger, energy, and overall body function. All of this happens every single day without any attention until something begins to go wrong. The trouble begins with everyday habits that seem normal. Junk food becomes a regular part of meals, filled with artificial ingredients and unhealthy fats. Sugar intake slowly increases through snacks, drinks, and hidden sources in packaged foods. Processed oils are used in cooking and fast food, adding more stress to the system. These things do not cause immediate damage that can be felt right away, which makes them easy to ignore. Over time, however, they place a heavy load on the liver, forcing it to work harder than it is designed to. As this pressure builds, the liver starts to slow down. Fat begins to accumulate inside it, leading to what is commonly known as fatty liver. This change does not just stay in one place, it affects how the entire body functions. Metabolism becomes slower, meaning fewer calories are burned throughout the day. Energy production drops, making simple tasks feel more exhausting. The body starts holding on to fat instead of using it, creating a steady increase in weight that feels difficult to control. At the same time, hormone balance begins to shift. Signals related to hunger and fullness become less clear. Cravings grow stronger, especially for sugary and processed foods, which only adds more pressure to the liver. It becomes a repeating cycle where the body keeps asking for the very things that are causing the problem. From the outside, it looks like a lack of discipline, but internally, the system is struggling to keep up. This was the moment everything started to make sense. The weight gain, the low energy, the constant cravings all pointed back to one place. I did not even realize my body was working against me. The turning point came in a way that felt almost too simple to matter at first. After trying different methods and seeing slow or temporary results, a new idea started to stand out. It was quiet yet powerful. I came across a simple idea that shifted the entire perspective. Instead of chasing weight loss directly, the focus needed to change. The body was already designed to burn fat, to create energy, and to maintain balance. Something inside was blocking that natural process, and pushing harder from the outside was only adding more stress. Instead of forcing weight loss, the goal became clear. Fix the system first. That meant stepping away from extreme diets, constant calorie counting, and exhausting routines that felt impossible to maintain. The body did not need more pressure, it needed support. It needed the right conditions to function properly again. Once that idea settled in, everything started to look different. The focus moved away from short term results and shifted toward restoring how the body works from within. This approach changed the way every choice was made. Food was no longer just about cutting calories, it became about reducing the burden on the liver. Eating patterns were no longer random or constant, they were adjusted to give the body time to reset and recover. Even small habits began to feel important because they either added stress to the system or helped remove it. There was a growing awareness that the body responds quickly once it is given the chance. At first, the changes felt subtle. There was no dramatic shift overnight, no extreme drop on the scale in the first few days, but something deeper was happening. Energy levels started to feel more stable. The constant urge to snack began to fade slightly. The body felt calmer, as if it was slowly returning to a natural rhythm that had been missing for a long time. That quiet shift became the signal that the process was working even before visible results appeared. Then everything connected into one clear idea: heal the liver, and the body begins to burn fat naturally. It was no longer about forcing outcomes, it was about removing the obstacles that were holding everything back. The changes started with one decision that felt small but turned out to be powerful. Sugar was completely removed, no soda, no sweets, and no hidden sugar from packaged foods. At first it felt restrictive, but very quickly the difference became noticeable. The body stopped riding the constant highs and lows, and the pressure on the liver began to ease. Cravings started to lose their intensity, and energy felt more stable throughout the day. This alone changed everything because it removed one of the biggest sources of stress on the system. The next step was adjusting when to eat rather than focusing only on what to eat. Intermittent fasting became part of the routine. I gave my liver time to rest, which it rarely had before. Instead of eating all day, there was a clear window of about 16 to 18 hours without food. During that time, the body shifted its focus. With no constant intake to process, it started tapping into stored fat for energy. This created a natural fat burning state without forcing anything extreme, and it allowed the liver to catch up on its other important functions. Food choices also became simpler and more intentional. Liver friendly foods were added without overcomplicating meals. Leafy greens became a regular part of the plate, bringing in nutrients that support detox and overall health. Lemon water was included, adding a refreshing and supportive start to the day. Garlic found its way into meals more often, known for its beneficial effects on the body. Healthy fats were included in balanced amounts, helping with energy and satisfaction. I kept it simple, no fancy diet, no complicated recipes, just consistent choices that supported the system. Hydration played a bigger role than expected. Water intake increased throughout the day, helping the body carry out its natural cleansing processes. It supported the liver by making it easier to flush out unwanted substances. In the morning, warm water became a gentle way to start the day, helping the body wake up and begin its internal processes smoothly. This small habit added another layer of support without requiring much effort. Movement was kept light and consistent. Walking became a daily routine without pressure to perform or push limits. There were no intense workouts or exhausting sessions, just steady movement that kept the body active and supported circulation. No intense workouts, just consistency, allowing the body to respond at its own pace while everything else worked together in the background. The results started to show in a way that felt steady and real. Within 2 weeks, the number on the scale dropped by 15 pounds. It happened without extreme effort, without the usual struggle that often comes with trying to lose weight quickly. Each day brought a small change, and those small changes added up faster than expected. Clothes began to fit differently, the body felt lighter, and there was a noticeable shift in how everything felt during daily activities. At the same time, energy levels began to rise. Mornings no longer felt heavy or slow, and the usual need for constant boosts throughout the day started to fade. There was a steady flow of energy that stayed consistent, making it easier to stay focused and active. Simple tasks no longer felt draining, and there was a sense of balance that had been missing for a long time. The body felt more responsive, almost as if it was finally working in sync again. Mental clarity also improved in a way that was hard to ignore. The foggy feeling that used to linger throughout the day slowly disappeared, thoughts became sharper, focus became stronger, and there was a clear difference in how the mind processed things. It felt easier to stay present and engaged without the constant distraction of low energy or scattered thinking. This change made everyday life feel smoother and more controlled. Cravings, which once felt overwhelming, started to lose their grip. The constant desire for sugar and processed foods became weaker with each passing day. Hunger felt more natural and less urgent, making it easier to make better choices without feeling restricted. The body no longer demanded quick fixes, and this created a sense of control that had not been there before. Eating became more balanced, guided by actual need rather than impulse. All of these changes came together in a way that felt different from past experiences. There was no sense of forcing the body into something unnatural. It felt natural, not forced, as if the system was simply returning to the way it was meant to function. This approach works because it supports one of the most important systems in the body instead of fighting against it. The liver is responsible for processing fat, which means it helps decide whether fat is stored or used as energy. When it is functioning properly, it can break down fat more efficiently and keep the body in balance. When it becomes overloaded or slow, that process weakens and fat begins to accumulate more easily. By reducing the pressure on the liver, the body is able to return to a state where fat burning happens more naturally. Another key factor is the level of toxins the body has to deal with each day. Processed foods, excess sugar, and unhealthy fats add to the load, forcing the liver to focus more on filtering and less on metabolism. As those inputs are reduced, the liver can shift its attention back to its core functions. Less toxins in the system create a cleaner internal environment, which allows metabolism to improve. This change may not feel dramatic at first, but it builds over time and leads to more consistent energy use and better fat processing. Fasting adds another layer to this process by giving the body a break from constant digestion. During fasting periods, the body moves into a different state where it begins to repair and restore itself. The liver plays a major role during this time as it works through stored energy and clears out what is no longer needed. Without continuous food intake, the body has the space to reset certain functions that are usually interrupted. This shift allows fat stores to be used more effectively while also supporting internal repair mechanisms. As these elements come together, the body starts to operate more smoothly. Fat metabolism improves, energy becomes more stable, and the system begins to regulate itself in a more balanced way. There is less strain on internal processes, and the body no longer feels like it is constantly trying to catch up. Each small change contributes to a larger effect that becomes more noticeable over time. When your liver works better, your body works better, and that connection becomes clearer as these changes take place. It is important to understand that this is not magic. The changes may feel fast and surprising, but they come from giving the body what it needs to function properly. Every person is different, and the way the body responds can vary based on lifestyle, habits, and overall health. Some people may notice quick shifts, while others may need more time to see the same level of progress. The process depends on how much support the body needs and how consistent the changes are over time. Results may vary, and that is a normal part of any health journey. Comparing progress with others can create unnecessary pressure and confusion. The focus should stay on personal improvement and how the body feels during the process. Small signs like better energy, improved focus, and reduced cravings can be just as important as changes on the scale. These signals often show that the body is moving in the right direction, even before major visible results appear. Listening to the body becomes an important part of this approach. Paying attention to hunger, energy levels, and overall comfort helps guide each step. If something feels too extreme or difficult to maintain, it may need adjustment. The goal is to support the body, not to push it into stress or discomfort. A balanced approach allows changes to become part of a routine that feels natural and sustainable. There are also situations where extra care is needed. People with existing health conditions or specific dietary needs may require a different approach. In those cases, making gradual changes and being mindful of how the body responds can make a big difference. It is always better to move forward with awareness rather than rushing into drastic shifts that may not suit individual needs. Consistency remains a key factor in how the body adapts. Short-term effort can create temporary results, but steady habits build long-lasting change. Keeping things simple and manageable makes it easier to stay on track without feeling overwhelmed. This approach works best when it becomes part of everyday life rather than a temporary plan. Always listen to your body because it gives clear signals about what is working and what needs to change. So maybe weight loss is not about eating less and pushing harder every single day. Maybe the real answer goes deeper than calories and workouts. Maybe it is about fixing what is happening inside the body first, the part that controls how everything works behind the scenes. Once that system starts working the right way, results begin to follow without constant struggle or frustration. This journey showed something that often gets overlooked. The body already knows how to burn fat, create energy, and stay balanced. It just needs the right support to do it properly. When that support is given, things start to shift in a way that feels natural and steady. The changes do not feel forced, and the results begin to make sense in a completely different way. For me, it all came back to one simple starting point. It was not about trying harder or doing more. It was about understanding what was slowing everything down and fixing that first. For me, it started with my liver, and that one change opened the door to everything else. Now, the real question is simple. Would you try this for 2 weeks and see how your body responds? Your experience could be completely different, and that is what makes it worth exploring. If you found this helpful and want more simple health tips that actually make a difference, like this video and subscribe to our channel so you do not miss what comes next.